I do freaking love good food. Hey, welcome to a very special episode of Front Seat Gamer, which we're calling Front Eat Gamer. I don't know.
I thought you said it was going to be lunch
Eat Flavor was one idea we were tossing around.
lunch seat flavor.
No, we do not. We don't want that. Okay, so normally we talk about video games. Sometimes we talk about food. In particular, we seem to talk about how to reheat your pizza.
We should have asked the restaurant that we went to on their policy of reheating pizza.
It would be like a half hour.
That'd be like
artisanal.
We sous vide it. We put this cold pizza in a bathtub for 12 hours.
Yep. So we went to a fancy restaurant. Yeah. It was called French Cafe. It's in Auckland. It's very highly rated. It was far too expensive for it to be sensible. And we're going to talk about it. Here with me today, we've got Blake, Severn, and my wife, Kerri.
Hi.
How's it going, everyone?
It's good.
It's going well.
Real good.
Yep.
Yeah, excellent. So let's talk about our visit to the French Cafe. Let's start with the atmosphere, because that's sort of the first thing you have to notice.
Let's start with Nick's excitement the morning of.
Okay, sure.
Oh yeah, the days and
Yeah,
weeks leading
all right.
up to it.
Okay, we can talk about that. Go on.
What did you know? What did you know about French Cafe?
It was very highly rated.
Yep, and that was it.
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love fine dining. I think we've mentioned this in the past. My wife and I sometimes splurge for like birthdays, and go to a super fancy restaurant as the birthday gift, basically. And just love it. You get so pampered. You eat some amazing food. You have flavors you never thought you'd experience. And then you on your way home, all of your burps taste good.
That was seriously how you told Severn to think about the meal. Was like when you're on your way home and you burp, just see what comes up. And,
Yeah.
and think about it. And
It's usually when you burp, it's like unpleasant. But sometimes when you have a really good meal, when you burp, it's like, ooh, it tastes good again.
God, that's your like gold star of a good restaurant is, oh, my burps taste good. So
Yeah.
it must be a good restaurant.
That's right. Prove me wrong. How are your burps?
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I wasn't burping afterwards.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I did this time either, but I have in the past. And it's a pleasant experience. Anyway, well, so I was very excited.
Mm-hmm. I was at my desk the morning of.
Yeah.
It was a Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
Nick gets into the. I guess it was like the first thing he did. He probably put his bag down, walked over, and then just started dancing.
Yeah.
It was more like okay, yeah, it was a dance.
Just hopping up and down, really. That's what he was doing at
I
home.
could see in the periphery that there was a
Hopping madman.
Yeah. I was like, I know who this is.
I know those moves.
We've all seen this dance before.
I think, dude, you were like a child on Christmas morning.
Yeah, I was
Fit the
really
description.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
You were like, I've never seen a grown adult like jump for excitement so much.
I love a good meal. Whatever.
Yeah. And the whole time we were there, you just had this grin on your face.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, we were being fed like delicious treats.
Yeah. I mean that.
So obviously.
Yeah.
How silly of this grown adult man to enjoy himself. What a
Yeah,
terrible
what-
atrocity that is. let's all lambast him. That's right.
He's not completely worn down by the tragedies of the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
He's not ground. All right.
Get him.
So now that we've established I was excited.
Mm-hmm.
How were you guys feeling before you went in? Severn?
I drove in.
Okay.
I was mainly concerned about parking going into it because I knew I could get some free parking, like if I was smart about it.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just the highlight of your.
Yeah, and I was like, if I drive in and get there 20 minutes early, I got 20 minutes to find parking,
Mm-hmm.
and I could just park 20 minutes away and just walk it,
Right.
that kind of thing.
You were the last person to arrive.
Yeah. Yep.
But we were all early, to
Yeah.
be fair.
Me going into it, I'm a little like I'm not new to this fine dining rodeo.
You're not new?
I haven't been to French Cafe, but I've been to other fancy restaurants.
Uh-huh. Where have you been?
I was telling you, Nick, there's this one in Wellington that I recommend to everyone, which is called Logan Brown, and it is fancy. It has a fantastic. That was where that was probably the one that stood out and that I was comparing French Cafe
Right.
to.
So that was the benchmark.
So, and it was good, dude. I was reading some reviews just to kind of jog my memory about it
Of Logan Brown?
of Logan Brown.
Okay.
And there was a comment because you kind of want to get a gauge for like dollar versus quality kind of thing.
Yeah, we call it, at least I call it the price to quality ratio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a comment, I think on like Google something reviews. It was just on the search engine thing, and it was saying that it you want to bring minimum $150
Yeah.
to go to Logan Brown.
Yeah.
So it's one of those places. So it's very same league as
Yeah.
French Cafe.
Like fancy, expensive fine dining.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was it like a la carte rather than a set menu, or was it?
I'm not sure. When I went, it was just a la carte,
Mm.
and it was cool. I've got good memories there.
Okay. So you were thinking about a different fine dining experience in the lead up to.
Well, yeah, that's what I was comparing it.
Sure. Okay.
That was me. Got some good
You-
parking.
You were worried about parking and a different restaurant.
Oh, and we kind of got. We were wearing like smart casual clothes. Yeah.
We were.
Yep.
Blake even bought a new shirt.
Yep, and I ironed it.
He ironed it. He ironed something for the first time in his 32 years.
Yep.
33?
33.
33?
It was such a big event that I had to post about it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Huh? I didn't see that. Interesting.
How did you enjoy ironing?
Dude, it was way easier than I thought.
The iron takes all the work out of it.
Yeah. But you see people burning down their houses and
What the hell? Do you?
but yeah. But someone's like, "Oh, I left the iron on and the house is in flames."
Yep.
And they burn their shirts and stuff. So I started off very carefully being like, "Oh, I don't want to."
You had it on
Burn
the
my
silk
shirt.
setting. You had it on the lowest possible.
I did. Yeah.
And you were on a cotton shirt.
Yeah. Well, I actually ended up turning it up to cotton because I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Once I had a little more experience,
Once you'd cottoned on?
once I'd cottoned on, I turned it on to cotton, and I got like used to the steaming thing. There's a steam button that like has the steam, and I was watching some YouTube videos to like tell me how to do
How
it.
to do it.
Yep.
How to
My
iron.
goodness.
It was great. I felt like an adult.
Okay. So then, how were you? Were you excited to go to this restaurant?
Yeah, I've never been to a fine dining thing ever before.
Okay.
Like I've been to what I thought were like pretty decent restaurants, but they're not like this level.
Hmm.
Like they don't come and put your cutlery down for each meal.
Each course.
Yeah, like
I felt.
Scrape the crumbs
I
away.
felt
yeah,
that was-
I've never been to a place that comes along and scrapes the crumbs off the table. Like
Yeah. I had earlier in that day, I think, or maybe the day before or something, I had described to you that, like, that's how you know you're in a fancy place. Is
Yeah.
when someone comes and scrapes the crumbs with a specific tool.
yeah. What is
And-
the name of that tool, do you reckon?
Crumb scraper?
I think it would have a fancy as name. But it's just
Probably
basically
French for crumb
it
scraper.
looks like a mini window, like what are they called?
Like
Window
a squeegee or
squeegee?
something.
Yeah, it's like a
But made
crumb
of
squeegee.
metal.
And you, I think there was an element of disbelief when I explained to you that was a thing.
Yeah, I was like, I don't believe you. This isn't. Nobody's doing that.
And then, sure enough,
Yeah.
Kerri, how did you feel about the restaurant before you?
I tried on like 4 different dresses.
It's true.
Oh,
I
wow.
could not decide what I wanted to wear.
Yep.
I knew no one else was really going to dress up, so I was like, couldn't be
Wait.
too fancy.
Wait a minute. I had a white T-shirt on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
You
That's
put
me.
on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
It had a Ace of Spades on it, right?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
yeah. This is
Made
my
of
Ace
wood.
shirt. What
This was the best T-shirt I had.
yeah.
It's literally Ace. I wore a pink shirt, my wedding shirt. That was I guess it's technically lavender. I'm told.
Oh, it's not salmon.
No, it's
No.
lavender.
Clearly not salmon.
Okay.
So burnt.
Call yourself an artist.
Damn, salmon's hot, man. That's
hot right
what I
now?
know.
It is if you cook it. All right. So let's talk about let's talk with that awful joke out of the way. Let's talk about the atmosphere of the restaurant. We go in there. We get walked through a dining room and into like another dining room.
We're
Right
walked
next to the
through like a
kitchen.
nice looking dining room
Yeah.
with, lined with lovely white tablecloth tables and reasonable art on the wall.
And like
And then we're taken to the back room by the kitchen, which is significantly less nice looking, in my opinion. Like mostly bare walls. It was just a bit corporate looking. I
yeah,
wasn't that impressed.
yeah. I think I
Did
feel
you
the same.
feel like we had been shoved out the back?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Then-
we clearly were not the sort of upscale patron. I'm sure
They
they've come
made
to
a
know.
judgment on how we were all dressed, and we're like, all right, put these guys out the back.
Yeah.
Let's make them as
Fair
as-
enough, too,
Yeah.
honestly.
Let's lower the visibility.
Yeah.
Really hide them. Yeah. So
Yeah, I think it was just the light from the kitchen bleeding out. That
Interesting.
was the way because it was warm in the room before. It was like candlelit, very controlled. But then you
True.
go into the back, and we could clearly see into the kitchen.
Yeah. Which
And
I think
there
is
were-
actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I didn't see anything in the kitchen because my back's facing it, but I'm told it was
Man, it
cool.
was
Yeah.
amazing.
It was
You
mostly
missed out.
just cute faces of the chefs and waiters.
Cute faces.
Yeah, that's what Eleanor said.
Okay. Oh yes, there was another guest who she couldn't make it on the podcast, but our friend Eleanor, who's been on the podcast before playing D&D, came with us to this dinner. All right, so I think we're all
But there was a courtyard too.
It was a courtyard.
Yeah,
It was
we
pretty
could
cool.
see the courtyard. That was nice.
And we got a tour of the restaurant at the end of the meal, where we got to see in a little more detail what the premises are like, and it's actually a really cool place.
Mm-hmm.
Got
But
an
I
herb
think-
garden.
Yeah, our particular spot was a bit meh atmosphere wise.
I think the whole look of the place was kind of average. Artwork was sort of
A bit sterile.
garbage.
Yeah,
Very
a
sterile.
bit sterile.
They just changed hands, though. We heard like 2 days beforehand, and the lady was talking about how how the new owners had changed out all the art and stuff. So hopefully it's just, growing pains, or
Yeah, some teething
they'll
problems.
figure it out.
Really, really wanky art.
I thought the art was fine.
It was
just
just like boring
it was just
flowers.
non-controversial. It was
Like watercolored flower petals.
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
actually kind of surprised because she started naming the artist, and I was like, wait, this wasn't just a factory printed like thing.
It did feel a bit hotel art.
yeah.
The sort of thing you'd get in the frame that you bought.
Mm. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we're sitting down at our table. They come by. We order the set menu, and they start bringing out snacks, which are listed on the menu as snacks. And the first thing they brought out, I don't remember the name of it. Kerri, do you remember?
It was a cheese beignet, they said.
Does anybody know what a beignet is?
It is a fried donut.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like New Orleans style.
Okay. So,
It did not taste like a beignet.
no.
Hmm.
I liked it.
It
It
was
was-
really yummy.
It was cheesy.
It was really good.
It was potatoey.
Mm-hmm.
I could eat a bag of those.
Yeah, it was.
Easily.
They were really yummy. It was
Yeah.
tiny though,
Yeah.
and there was one each.
Mhm.
I
But
kind
it
of.
Yeah.
was just a snack.
Yeah.
It's a little flavor.
What did you guys think? So I mean, Blake, you loved it.
Yeah, I
Savan?
loved it.
I in my head it registered as mac and cheese, deep fried boil of mac and cheese.
Interesting.
It was so much like I could taste the I could taste the quality.
Mm.
What?
Yeah, because I ate that and it's like I've eaten like jalapeno poppers or something like that, that type of thing, and it's like the cheese is just just kind of standard cheese, but this was like it filled your mouth with flavor.
Mm.
Like it was definitely a level above some jalapeno poppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
So this is as your first, very, very first encounter with fine dining.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
I was like,
This is the big league.
Yeah, yeah. I seriously was like, oh, I get it. Just from this one cheesy ball thing, I was like, oh, okay. Because just looking at them, I was like, oh, I know I was expecting a certain flavor,
Yeah.
and I got so much more above it.
Yeah. There's layers to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Severn's got a bit of he's got a wry smile on his face
I
right
was
now.
just gonna also say that they bring a thing over and then they announce what it is.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Does here's a question, because every course they came and they talked about it. Does anybody really care?
I
Yeah.
did. I cared. Yeah.
Because
why?
because I'm always sitting there going, oh yeah,
Oh, like during.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then naming off all the stuff, and I'm just like, I get it. It's delicious. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna be really like extravagant.
Mhm.
I don't understand any of like what you're talking about.
But it's locally sourced, that kind of stuff, you know. It's
I
she's giving you some
guess
background.
I guess the things where they're like, these are herbs from our herb garden
Mm.
and honeycomb from their beehives. Those were the things that made me go, holy shit, these
Yeah.
guys have this stuff here. But other than that, it's sort of it just went over my head. That's how I felt. I felt like I was posing because I'm sitting there going, ah, yes,
As a diner,
yes,
you're
yes.
posing as-
Right.
It's
I
part of the
understand this.
experience. Although I will say I often struggle to understand the words they're saying. This is gonna sound really terrible, but like usually the waiters have accents of some sort,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
only understand like every third word.
Yeah.
But I think it's nice to know like the fish was from Kerri or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
more for me at least. I just like to know what I'm putting in my mouth.
Sure.
Right.
Well, it's
Yeah.
listed on the menu. That
It
they
is,
give you.
but they don't list every ingredient, for example. So it's nice to know. Oh, this like weird transparent disc of whatever is daikon radish, or
Yeah.
and knowing like in advance what flavors I'm about to encounter lets me appreciate them more. I think. So that was the first snack.
Yeah.
There were 2 other snacks that came out. Who remembers?
Oh yeah.
Yep, there was the cones
Okay.
and the coconut sprinkled other things on rocks.
Wasn't that walnut shaving?
It was
Moon shavings.
macadamia shavings.
Oh, macadamia
Um,
shavings.
So yeah, there were cones filled with duck liver pate and honey, which I think it was honey from their beehives.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been. Yeah.
And I loved that. Those little cones. There was like a savory flavor there, but it was also sweet.
The texture was really nice.
It was crispy.
Yeah.
It was soft.
I just don't.
Ooh,
I
yum.
I think I just don't like duck liver pate. Like I've had it before, and it's not. I don't really like it.
It's fair.
Yeah,
So you weren't a big fan.
I
of the
wasn't
cone.
a fan of it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
the other thing, whatever the
Yeah,
heck it
what
was.
was it? It was macadamia.
Yeah.
It was a
something.
macadamia little tartlet thing with incredibly thin pastry, with shaved macadamia on it. I'm trying to remember.
It
if
had
it was,
an actual macadamia nut inside as well.
Yes, there was a macadamia nut inside, but there was also some sort of cream thing, which was lovely.
It was very tasty. No idea what it was.
No idea.
Loved it.
Very lovely.
They were served in such a weird way,
Yeah.
though. Like, they brought out these bowls filled with like seeds
Yep.
and some sort of grain, and they had just like they
Shove 'em
shoved
in.
the cones down inside and then placed the other ones just on top of this random bowl of seeds,
Yeah,
which
pumpkin
presumably they
seeds.
just like
yeah, there's like pumpkin seeds, like there's
throw
fully edible
away?
seeds in there. You just snack. Like, are we just gonna snack on this all night?
Yeah.
but they took them away so
Yeah.
quickly.
And this is often a trend we've seen in fine dining, where the thing they serve the snacks in is often weird.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Do you think they just threw those out? Those are like single-use seeds, bowls of
They
seeds.
must like feed them to birds or something, right? Like
You'd hope
not
so,
just in
right?
Garbage.
I reckon they
Yeah.
just reuse them.
Gross.
Well, no, gross. You're not shoving the seeds in your mouth.
No, but there was like residue
Yeah.
on them.
Oh no, food residue on my food.
Someone else's food residue on my food,
Okay,
though.
sure.
Yeah. You don't want someone else's cone sticking in your bird seed.
Oh boy, I hope that gets quoted out of context at some point. Yeah, so those were the snacks. I quite enjoyed the snacks. I thought it set a good tone
Yeah.
for the evening.
The cheese one, the first one was the winner for me,
Yeah.
snack wise.
Ooh, I really loved the cone.
Really?
Yeah.
Duck pate to me always seems like I've only had it a few times, but it seems like something I'm supposed to like, and I just don't because it's supposed to be fancy or something.
There's
Like
a
it-
bitterness to it that like there's a bitter aftertaste to it that I think is a bit of an acquired taste, but I loved it. And I think also I suspect because I didn't try yours, but I suspect mine had a lot of honey in it.
Oh yeah.
Which couldn't have hurt. So Vern, did you have a favorite of the snacks?
Of those things, I think I like the cone, but it was, what was it? Honey at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know where the honey was. But-
Well, it was cold,
Tucked
and I
in
was
there
expecting something a
somewhere.
little warm.
That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was cold. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you
that
were expecting
that
some
stood out
hot
to me.
food. Mm.
Well, the cone, I thought
Specifically the
some of it
cone.
would be hot.
Mm. Okay, so that was the snacks. Then they brought out little sourdough rolls with parsley butter.
Hmm.
From the herb garden.
Yeah, parsley from their herb garden. Thought those were solid.
Yep.
Didn't blow my mind, but it was a good bread roll.
They had cute wooden knives on the
Yeah.
side of them too. Yeah,
That's right.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was the thing that caught your attention. Was you're like,
I
that's a
like
neat knife.
nice cutlery, like just using nice cutlery.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did you guys think of the bread? It was bread, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Yep.
But I was,
Yep.
know,
It was
wouldn't
crummy.
pay
It was
It was
crummy.
very crummy.
$50
That's
for it.
that's when the
That's when the crumb
crumb
sweep-
scraper,
Yeah.
crumb squeegee came out.
Oh, crumb sweep, please over here.
Yeah.
Um,
I like how subtle they are. Like they just sort of they just
without
we're all
wordlessly-
sitting there talking,
Mm.
and like they just like quietly come along and just like start scraping crumbs away. And like I think you, Severn, they were so like discreet you didn't even notice them the first time.
Well, I was looking away. I try not to make eye contact with the
Oh
scraper.
man,
I don't like to make eye
Peasants.
contact with the service.
with the help.
But yeah, like when the dude went away, I was like, you know what? I was kind of curious as to like how that thing looked.
Mm.
I find it amusing. I find the whole crumb sweeping thing amusing.
Yeah.
It doesn't enhance the experience at all for me.
I think it does. It's so great.
It's good to feel pampered, I guess. But
It's just
At one
hilarious.
point, everyone else's like little area had been squeegeed except for mine, and there's like a bunch of crumbs over there, and I was feeling like a lower class citizen.
no.
So I think
interesting.
it is important.
Well, if anything, it created an inequality there. If everybody had to deal with crumbs, like if everyone had crumbs in front of them, you would be fine. Interesting. All right, so then we're on to the first course. I'm going to read out what the menu says. Kingfish, pistachio, pickled ginger, kohlrabi. That's all it says. What was brought out was a bowl with a translucent disc of something covering a bunch of other things that you can't see,
And some nasturtium leaves on
and
top.
some nasturtium leaves and flowers on
Mm.
top.
Good presentation.
I thought this dish was exceptional. I thought it was so delicious. I loved it. What did you guys think?
It was pretty great. Yep.
Okay, we've had our first pretty great of the podcast.
Yep. It's pretty great. It was
Yep.
all right. Yeah. Not bad.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I think the thing that was on top, for me, like overpowered the fish that I liked underneath.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the thing on top was detriment.
Yeah, yeah. It
Your
was like
overall.
my first bite was basically just the thing on top, and I was like, "Oh, this is I don't know, some kind of pickly thing or
I think
something."
that must have
and-
been the pickled ginger.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, "Oh, boy!" And then when I got to the fish at the bottom, I was like, "Oh no, this is actually delicious."
I loved the pickle. I'm normally not a fan of pickles.
Yeah, you're a
but that
big
was-
pickle head though. Like,
I love pickles.
yeah,
I'm a picklehead. I loved this dish. It was tangy and like fresh, and the pistachio paste at the bottom. I don't know what they did to that stuff. It was just delicious.
Mm.
So flavorful, and like not overpowering. Oh, I loved it.
I found it kind of difficult to cut into because the thing, I guess I don't know, whatever was on
Pickled
top
ginger,
was like
yeah.
just really quite slimy and
Yeah, it's slided
hard to
around right,
cut,
where you're
yeah.
trying to cut it, and
mine was a bit different because I've got an allergy, and so it was like really cucumbery and creamy as well. I don't know if yours was, but I like drank from my bowl.
oh really? Whoa!
I tried to do it stealthily. So
I didn't notice.
Good
It
job.
worked. I didn't
Well
see it.
done.
Yeah.
Eleanor looked out for me and she's like, "Go." This was her
Great.
favorite dish by far, I think.
I think it ranks up there for me as well. If
Like
not my
top
favorite, my
three
second favorite
for me.
I think. So Vern, what do
It was good.
you
It's
think?
probably my favorite dish too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What? Why?
I like fish. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. Nothing really stood out. I think they had like miniature forks as well with this one.
They did have miniature
They
forks
did.
with this one.
They had a really baby fork.
Yep. Kerri loves a baby fork.
Properly sized forks.
Yeah, wasn't there a point that you and Eleanor switched forks just to?
Well, she thought that hers looked smaller than mine, so she switched it for me, but they were just the same size. It was a really nice thought.
I just loved that dish. We're gonna have photos of these, by the way.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Yep.
So
Nick took a photo of every single.
I
dish.
did, and Blake was taking photos of me taking photos of the
Yep.
dishes for most of them.
Most
So
of them, and then I
If you
got
want to
bored.
see those, if you want to see a photo of me taking a photo of food, you can email frontseatquestions@gmail.com, and I'm sure Blake will happily send you that. The photos turned out pretty good considering it was like
It was
dim in
pretty
there.
low light.
Yeah.
So
Were you
next-
You weren't using a flash, right?
No.
Wow. Yeah, it's really good.
I feel like you would have noticed if I was using a
Yeah, I
flash
think you're
in
right.
the middle of
Yeah, in the middle of a restaurant.
We also ordered drinks, which
Right. Yeah.
I had a cocktail called Hearth because everyone knows I love Hearthstone. So
That's actually why, though.
Yeah, that is why.
that's only partially why. It had cinnamon in it, and I love cinnamon.
Yeah.
And it came with an actual cinnamon stick and a gigantic ice cube, and it was delicious. Blake had the same thing. What
Yep.
do you think?
It was delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So delicious. I had another one.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. They were like $20 though
It
each.
was very expensive, but not as expensive as the wine, which
Oh, it's Vern's anyway.
Severn had some wine.
Mm-hmm. I asked for a recommendation. It was I think it was from Marlborough, a red full-bodied wine.
Uh-huh.
What were the legs like on it?
It's pretty good.
It's called the stem when it's on a. when you're talking about glass.
No, I'm talking about the legs of the wine. You know that, right?
No.
Okay.
What's
This wine talk.
okay?
Yeah.
Fill me in. What's
You-
legs?
what
on-
you do is you hold it up. You hold the wine glass up with the wine in it, and you swirl it around.
Yeah.
And as it like hits the sides and like creeps like
Drips
Okay.
back
drips
down. to the
down.
glass.
If it's good, it'll drip into like little rivers, and those are called legs.
Why? What? Why does that?
I don't know.
If it's good, it does that, and if it's bad, it doesn't.
So you say it's got good legs.
Okay. I don't know what that does for the flavor.
And I never got to spin it.
Oh no.
Spin it.
You never got to
Spin
check
it.
its legs.
Yeah, I never got to check the legs. And like I thought about doing it, but I didn't want to be like some douchebag.
You
spinning
should
freaking wine.
have.
I think you're allowed to be a douchebag in a place like the French
Yeah.
Cafe.
If anything, it's encouraged.
No, I don't want to do that.
I feel like you regretted your choice of wine by the end of the evening.
No,
No.
no,
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. We were like, it's too expensive.
Me?
Yeah.
I barely drink.
Oh. Okay. Fair enough. I loved that she came by and said, what kind of red wine do you normally enjoy or something?" Just like, does anybody at this table have an answer for that? Because I sure don't.
Oh, I normally drink red wine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
pepper
would
jacks.
say Syrah. Is that an answer?
Well, then I'm the ignoramus here.
Yeah.
Cool.
I had a lovely rosé.
Yeah.
I sipped throughout the entire meal because it was way too expensive for more than one glass.
Mhm.
Yep.
It was really good.
Excellent. Let's move on to the second course. This was, according to the menu, venison tartare, black currant, coffee, lemon. I'll try and describe it real quick. We basically got a plate with a couple of linseed crackers, and some mysterious cubes of substance beneath them, a paste of some sort, and some dark brown powder. And the dark brown powder was, we were informed, coffee powder. And then, I guess, underneath was the venison, lemon, and black currant. That's what those cubes of things were.
I feel like there was more than that, though.
Yeah. So
No
this was
idea what.
this was my least favorite dish of the evening.
Yeah, this was
I
my
think
least
pretty
favorite. as well.
consensus. It's the worst. What do you think, Severn?
Yeah, it was okay. It like nothing was really bad.
No, I mean it was still good.
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
I
it was
still
just
enjoyed it.
the worst of all the
It's
good
the worst
stuff.
of the best dining you can have.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, we are being a bit cynical, aren't we? This dish sucked. It was actually really
It
good.
was delicious.
It
It was
was
just
not
not,
as-
the best.
Mm.
Of
It was
the
just
bunch.
more delicious, I think.
Yeah. For me, there was like a bitterness there with the aftertaste,
Yeah.
and I don't know for sure where it came from. On reflection, I have a feeling it was like lemon zest, like
Mm.
like the pith or something. It reminds me of like the bitterness that you get when you zest a lemon too much and you get pith in there.
Mm.
Hmm.
But it was just not as good as the rest of the meal.
It was kind of too like it was kind of like just too fruity for me.
I could hardly
Like, it was-
tell when the venison, like when I was eating venison.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because
I thought that the paste, whatever the paste was, I thought that was delicious. But it was also hard to eat
Yeah.
because like the tartare would fall apart quite quickly, but the cracker was like big and unwieldy and crisp. So
They were
trying
like
to-
were there like hard raisins in there?
that's where the
I
black
think,
currants
yeah.
were.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
quite hard though.
It seemed to me like a Christmas cake in a way, or a fruit cake that had just sort of like I don't know.
They forgot to bake it.
Yeah, they forgot to bake it. It was a pre-baked like
Deconstructed
Christmas
fruitcake.
muffin.
We forgot to put the fruit in, so we've got this cracker.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Anything else to add here, anyone? It was good. It was just
good.
it
It
was
was
just outdone.
disappointing, especially compared to like the fish beforehand,
Mm.
which was incredible.
Yes, this fish set such a high bar.
Yeah.
For me. So the third dish, scampi. Ooh,
Mm.
let me read out what this one says because this one amused me. Scampi, vegetable ash, lovage, spruce. It's just. It sounds like Have you ever seen? I think it's the Winter Soldier.
Oh,
Marvel
y-
movie?
y-
And
they've just activated someone.
Yeah, it's like the military code they use to activate the sleeper agents.
Yep.
Scampi, vegetable ash, lovage, spruce. Winter
Who do you want
Soldier,
me to kill?
have your orders. I loved this one. Oh,
It was really good.
so I'll try and describe it. There's like a brown log.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good starting point.
And on top of it are some translucent discs, which I'm pretty sure were daikon radish. And then there's like a green sauce, like a dollop of a green sauce. And then on either side of the green sauce was like a powdery looking thing. But
It
when
was
we
like
taste-
powdered chunks.
yeah, how it kind of reminded me of freeze dried ice cream.
Mm.
And that held true even when you put it in your mouth. Like the way freeze dried ice cream turns to like this slick liquid when you put it in your mouth. That's the exact same thing that
Yeah.
happened with this powder, but it was so flavorful
It
and
was
pleasant and light
really
and
tasty.
fluffy, and
It felt like there was some science happening in my mouth.
there was some
Like it was
serious
changing. It's
science.
just changing states in my mouth.
Yeah. I loved this one. I thought all the flavors together were wonderful.
And all the flavors individually were really good. I always like to take a little tiny flavor of each element before I have a bite with everything together.
Mm.
Everything was really good.
I'm a huge sucker for daikon radish as well. Pretty much anything that has daikon radish in it.
See, this is interesting because I liked that meal except for those discs of radish.
You're just not a pickle head.
I think I just don't like things overly pickly. Like I moved them to the side, and I ate them. I ate everything first, and then ate them after.
Did you try it all together?
Yeah, and the pickle was just overpowering.
Interesting. So Vern, what did you think of this one?
Yeah, it was good. I got through a lot of my dishes way ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
I
you were
would
blowing
go in
through
there,
'em.
I'd tuck into it, and then I'd look around and be like, nah, these guys are still picking at it.
Yeah, we were savoring.
But yeah, it was good.
I think I did
No complaints.
I think this was the first one maybe that I actually really started taking my time with, like eating, because the Kingfisher one before, I just hoovered that. It was because it was just delicious, and then like this one I was like really, really taking my time because I was like, oh, I think I get what I should do is like take little tiny bites and savor it and enjoy it, and yeah.
And did that enhance your experience?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I find when the food's like really well thought through and stuff, like most food at places like this, it's like you can take the different elements and eat them in different combinations. So it's just like a whole bunch of different tiny food experiences in one dish.
Yeah, there's a ton of flavor permutations, I guess.
It's really interesting.
But I also find it so fascinating when you have all of the flavors together, just how layered it is. Like you can still taste all the individual in a good meal like this. You can taste each individual element, and yet they're all enhanced by each other.
Except for that pickle, it's just
Go to hell, Blake.
Too much.
Go to hell. No, that's fair. But you're wrong. You're wrong, but it's a
It's
fair
fair
criticism.
for you to go to hell.
The next one I think is a favorite of a couple of people here. Roasted quail, pancetta, gingerbread, truffle butter. Now that doesn't really do justice to what actually arrived on the plate, which was a sort of micro tower of pancetta with quail inside, with truffle butter on top, a little pile of mushrooms, which I don't think they're not even mentioned on the menu. But those mushrooms were exceptional.
Bonus mushrooms.
And then there was like two different sauces. There was something that was kind of like reddish and quite liquidy, and then there was a dark brown, very thick sauce, which we were told was gingerbread molasses. And then there was a little powder of gingerbread as well. And then also I had these little tiny lumps of meat, which didn't seem to be pancetta. I'm not really sure what they were.
Looks like bacon.
Maybe quail bits.
Maybe quail bits.
You think it's
No.
quail?
It didn't taste
There's
like
nothing
bacon
else
to me.
listed.
It looks like bacon.
It did look like bacon, but it didn't taste like bacon. Did you guys have this on your plate? I didn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think of this one?
It's good. The molasses sucked though. I had a little bit of that molasses, and it tasted like some hot garbage.
I made a mistake of trying the molasses on its own.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I had to check. I was
Yeah.
like, is it actually that bad? So I dunked my knife in there,
Yeah.
and it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Did you mix it with the food at all?
Yeah, that was the first thing I did.
Okay, and you didn't enjoy it.
No, I was like, this is ruining everything else.
It's very strong. It was like quite sweet. It had a very dark flavor. That's how I would describe it anyway.
I think it tasted exactly like store-bought molasses.
Store-bought molasses?
Yeah.
I've never had store-bought molasses by
Okay.
itself, but I could definitely taste the gingerbread. To me, it tasted like if you took a ginger kiss from the supermarket. Ginger kiss is like a gingerbready biscuit with cream in the middle.
But it's soft.
Yeah, it's quite soft, like kind of cakey. If you took one of those and then you like liquefied it and really reduced it to its pure gingerbready essence.
I disagree with that
Yep.
assessment though, because
Okay.
ginger kisses are delicious.
Sick burn.
The molasses was fine, but it was the only thing of the entire night that I didn't like finish that I didn't enjoy just by itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Though I thought it was good with the other stuff, but in like very small amount.
Yes.
I still definitely had a pretty big blob of it left on my plate that I was like, I'm not eating that.
Just staying there.
Yeah.
It was
Same.
just too powerful, I think.
Mm.
So yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you guys. But
The
quail. Like,
quail.
oh my god, it was so good.
yeah, that was
Really dang
Yeah,
good.
that was delicious. Why did you guys enjoy it so much? I'm curious.
Because it tasted good, Nick.
Okay.
It was really quite tender and moist, which I think a lot of bird often isn't,
Mm,
and quite flavorsome. And plus, it was quail, so I felt like a medieval king
Yeah.
feasting. I don't know, the truffle butter. There was
Ooh.
just like a slab of truffle butter that came on top and slowly melted down into it.
yeah,
Really good.
I really liked. What was it like wrapped in some kind of cheese?
that was the pancetta.
Yeah, man, that plus the quail and the butter was like that was fantastic. That probably is what really enhanced the whole thing for me was that like that wrap thing around it. Like,
The little pancetta.
yeah.
Yeah,
I really
That was
liked
very
that.
it was
good.
delicious, and I think it. I mean, I'm making this is a guess here, but it really sealed the quail flavor in. It was like it served a purpose beyond its own flavor,
Mm.
which is always nice.
The mushrooms were really tasty as well. I don't know
mushrooms
what they did to
Were a
them.
surprise hit for me because I mean, like I love a good mushroom, but they were so thin and so well cooked and flavored.
Succulent.
Mm. Mm. I love a succulent shroom.
Yep.
Lovely.
Yeah, it was good. I'd never had quail before. Had you guys ever had quail?
I don't know that I have actually.
I feel like I have, but I don't remember when. I've had quail egg.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Whoa. I thought it tasted like just a really nice chicken. Like that was really it. It was just a really like nice bird.
Yeah. And if you were in the UK,
Yeah.
it'd be very different meaning.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Real nice
Yeah.
bird.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cut that out. That was a bad accent.
That was a
Cut
what
that
accent
out.
was that?
was- you make up your mind. You tell me. All right, the next one. This was, I think, the favorite for most people, myself possibly included.
It was my favorite.
Mhm.
It was incredible.
Organic lamb, leek, cashew, walnut. That's what the menu says. But what was delivered to us were two. They weren't huge, but they were
Little
reasonably
medallions.
They're
sized.
about bite sized though, really. Like you could put
Well-
one on the end of a fork and eat it whole.
Yeah,
Like they
it would
weren't.
be a big bite
It
though.
would be a ridiculous bite.
I think bite size if you got a big mouth.
I thought they were bite sized.
Yeah, two medallions of lamb, and then some like seared leek with. This had walnut shavings on it, and this beautiful paste, which I don't know what it is.
I don't remember.
And radishes from their garden, and some green looking sauce at the bottom of the plate, and the lamb was sous vide.
Yeah.
Which you guys started talking about a bathtub for some reason. You want to?
Sav, do you want to talk about sous vide?
Yeah, it's the only way to sous vide stuff. You need a bathtub.
Explain to me why.
Nick, you got to Google what the hell sous vide is, but you need a large body of water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it requires your food to be soaked in the water.
but it's often in like a little bag.
Yeah, it's
before-
in a vacuum sealed bag.
Yeah.
And you put it in water that is at a certain temperature that you want that will like cook it all the way through over like 12 hours.
Mm,
And then when you pull it out, it's like this gross gray looking thing. But it's like cooked exactly the same all the way through.
right.
And then you just sort of like really sear the outside of
Outside.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just tender all the way through and delicious. But it takes like, 12 hours or something. to
Mhm.
do
So
it.
what did you guys think of this one? Of the sous vide lamb.
I thought it was fantastic. I'd never had sous vide before.
Mm.
If-
It fell apart in my mouth.
Yeah.
It was like juicy and succulent, and flavorful, and the texture was just ideal the whole way through. Gosh.
One of the best pieces of meat I've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I'm looking at the picture. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, this is the problem. We're all looking at our phones.
Yep.
And at least in my case, I'm getting real hungry.
Yeah, it was a lot of the other meals were like delicious, but I couldn't eat like a whole massive plate of it. Like the kingfisher was nice, but like it was just the right amount because it was like the flavor was too overpowering.
I'm going to clarify. Kingfisher is a bird. Kingfish is a fish. So
Kingfisher.
Yeah. We didn't eat a bird. We ate a fish.
Yeah. No, we ate the quail. That's the
Yeah.
But the quail as well was like delicious, but it was like just the right amount. This one was the first, like kind of the only one that I was like I could eat a giant steak of this, and like I would have a massive meal of this, and I would not be tired of it. It would not be too overpowering. It would just be great.
Yeah.
A big pile of cheese beignets to start.
Yes.
And then finish with a big plate of
Ah,
grand
yes.
Italians. It was like dream meal.
That does actually sound really good.
Yep.
Severn, what did you think of this lamb?
Yeah, it was good. I have a lot of appreciation for New Zealand lamb.
Yeah.
Especially like going overseas and seeing it being sold at like $50 a kg or some ridiculous amount.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So I always like to have New Zealand lamb because we're
You're the world
there's
leaders.
an abundance of
Yeah.
New Zealand lamb in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Funnily enough.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it was
How do
really
they do
good.
it?
Yeah, it tasted good. I don't think I was crazy for like any of the dishes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was good. Like
Okay.
none of them were bad.
What were you hoping for? I wonder.
Something new, I think.
Okay, so none of those were sort of novel to you.
Like new flavors and new mouthfeels, that kind of thing.
Not even the scampi
Mm.
was hitting that mark for you. With the
Nah.
vegetable ash.
Yeah, the weird
The
vegetable
vegetable
ash.
ash was new, yeah,
But
but it dissolved into nothing. So it was like eating ghost stuff.
it's like eating a ghost.
Yeah.
But it was a
Sounds like a meal
delicious
to me.
ghost. It was the ghost of meals past.
Mm.
Then we had the option. This is something I hadn't experienced before at a restaurant. We had the option to move straight on to dessert, or we could swap our dessert for a cheese course, or we could get an additional cheese course before the dessert. And
We held a vote.
I knew I wanted that, like going into it.
Yeah, so did I.
unanimously decided we would each get a cheese course.
Mhm.
And this cheese course had 3 cheeses. I don't remember the first one. It was something aged and nutty.
Mm.
It's
was
tough.
It
Quite-
might have been a Gouda. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either what it was, but it was sort of a hard cheese, sort of long, slender, oblong of
Cheese.
of cheese.
It was not overpowering to eat on its
No.
own either. Like the others were a little strong on their own
Yeah.
to eat.
So the second one was a triple brie from France.
Mm.
I'd never even heard of triple brie.
Triple cream.
Triple cream brie, sorry. I stand corrected. And then a blue cheese, I think also from France?
Yeah, from Paris, she said, didn't she?
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't really remember. But all I know is, dang.
They had some like red
Yeah.
sauce with that
Oh, yeah,
that last cheese.
That's right.
Quince paste?
Yeah, it came with some. They also brought out a thing full of crackers and quince paste. There was like a homemade
Walnuts.
Oh, yeah.
linseed crack. No, they weren't linseed. They were like
Fennel.
fennel crackers. Yeah,
Those were really good, I thought. The
and
fennel
little
crackers.
oat crackers,
Mm.
which
I thought they were delicious on their own. Those little
Yeah.
oat ones. They're like little biscuits.
so delicious.
I preferred the fennel ones on their own, actually.
Interesting. Quince paste and a little stack of walnuts, which the walnuts were really more the most confusing element there because we weren't really sure what to do.
Well, I was confused that it was after everyone had finished eating, there was still a pile of walnuts there that I just started eating, and nobody else seemed to want any. I was like, why do you guys not want any walnuts? This
It's
is
just
great.
walnuts.
Just walnuts
Just
How
normal
often are you
walnuts.
eating walnuts that you're just...
constantly.
Oh, okay. All right. Fine.
I always have my breast pockets full of them.
yeah. Just loose walnuts in your pocket.
I loved these cheeses. They were just really delicious, like very obviously expensive.
Yeah, when they brought out the little slate with the tiny cheeses on it, I was like, "What? $20? This is like the smallest amount of
right.
cheese I've ever seen." But it was actually, I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And then they asked us if we wanted more crackers after all of our cheese and meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the fact, that
Yeah.
that kind of bothered me a little.
Yeah.
Why even ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that
I
lamb dish
absolutely
again.
would have said yes as well.
Give me that lamb dish.
I didn't even know it was an option. You know.
For more crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither. I thought
I-
that was all you got.
I suspect this is because, okay, Kerri and I went to a fancy restaurant in Cambodia, and when we told them how much we loved the dessert, they gave us a second dessert
Right.
each and didn't charge us for it. I reckon if you go to a fancy, like, if the restaurant is fancy enough, you could probably ask for almost anything, like more of something, and they'll probably give it to you.
Yeah, but they'll charge you more. I mean, that's right. If you said, "Can I have another lamb thing?" They'll be like, they might be like, "Sure," but it's $50.
Yeah, that's possible. It may depend on the course.
Could have been worth asking.
Yeah.
I was so full.
Yeah.
By the end of it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even though these meals we get are so like tiny, by the time like
You've
we've
had
had
eight
eight
of
of
them?
them, yeah, it adds up.
So that was before the dessert. That was the cheese course. So we're all ready for our dessert. And what do they bring out?
They don't bring out anything because Severn asks about the garden and we go on a tour.
No, that's not true. Wait,
What?
I'm pretty sure we had the pre-dessert refresher. Didn't we
I
before?
don't remember.
I don't remember what order this.
Oh no,
came out.
yeah, we did have it before because that's when they said about the beehives, and we were like,
That's
"Oh,
right.
can we see them?"
That's
That's what
right.
came out in the little Kinna dishes.
Yes. So they brought out, and this isn't on the menu. They brought out Parmesan ice cream with poached pear and what flavor were the wafers? I don't even remember.
No idea.
But some sort of delicious fried crispy wafer thing. Oh my goodness.
And honeycomb.
And honeycomb from their beehives, which is what prompted Severn to ask if we could see their beehives.
I was gonna ask anyway.
Yeah, and fair enough.
Well, not about beehive, but just a tour of like
Of the premises.
place. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What did
because
you
we were
guys-
looking out onto like this big courtyard too, like it, like
They had a fireplace at one end, a water
Yeah.
feature on the other.
tree in the middle.
Yep.
They were like, like this was a kind of a complex, right? There were like other rooms off to the
Yeah,
other like separate kind of dining places off
Yeah,
to the
you can see like
sides
a
and-
private room.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a private dining room for like events and weddings and stuff. And they also had a smaller room, which they called the cellar, I think, which is where they kept all the whining. But also, you could like have a group of like up to 12 people there.
And I think they said in the summer they do like outside dining because it's like this open courtyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do lunches on the weekends
Oh, wow.
in this open courtyard.
Yeah.
But my goodness, the Parmesan ice cream, delicious.
Oh, good.
Severn, you're not a big fan of sweets.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of this one?
Yeah, it was good.
As a tail to the cheese course,
Uh-huh.
to get given cheese in dessert form, I loved it.
Yeah, those wafers were a highlight of that particular dish for me.
Yeah?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Yeah.
I like the texture. That was good.
They were so crisp.
Mm.
Mm.
It was all really good together. And the ice cream, I thought, it just tasted like Parmesan, like legit. I don't know how they did it and made it ice cream.
Yeah.
What?
I want to go out and buy a tub of Parmesan ice cream now. So get on it, Baskin Robbins. Then we went on a tour of the restaurant. What did you guys think of the rest of the premises?
We saw some more garbage art.
Oh
Some more,
yeah, that's right. That's when she started talking about the artists.
She started,
Yeah.
she started naming them, and I had no idea
These
how to
other-
respond to that.
No.
trashy New Zealand art. I hate abstract expressionism, by the way.
But it's
Which
like
is why
it
I
was,
shit on it.
it was such like inoffensive abstract stuff. It was just like here's something that will never offend anyone. It's so
yeah,
bland.
it's-
It'll
It's so boring.
yeah.
It's the no talent art that pretentious assholes get
Yeah.
into for some reason.
Wow.
I hate it. I really hate it.
What do you think of Jackson Pollock?
Yeah, he's so freaking like
What
Xavier
have you
was
seen
there.
those blue
Hey,
pillars or whatever it is? There's like masterpiece.
I guess
Blue
we've,
poles.
we've just disproved that no one could get offended by the art, right?
Yeah,
My
yeah, that's
goodness.
true.
God damn.
Maybe they did take a stance.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You hated it so much.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell them that though, because I know some jerks love it for some reason. I guess it's because they can make it too, or something.
You know what, Severn? I would love to see you do an abstract expressionist piece.
I would never do that
Why?
because it's been
Wow.
because it requires me to have brain damage.
Oh my
Oh my god.
So talentless, man. Any arsehole can do that shit. Oh, also, Jackson Pollock was an arsehole. Like he was a drunk. He like any other, I guess, artist around that time. He would put like cigarettes on his canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
Visionary.
wow.
I think the thing with like Jackson Pollock especially, I think that his stuff kind of looks like TV static, so that you can make out any image that you want out of it.
Well, yeah, okay.
That's what I think. That's what I think. When I look at it, I'm like, there's so much kind of just jumbled up noise that your mind can create shapes out of it.
It's like a lava lamp, a static lava lamp.
It's like a magic eye thing, except it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question,
Yep.
Severn.
Yep.
Where do you draw the line on abstract?
Oh, you'd have to show me.
Okay. Well, so what do you think of Picasso?
Yeah. The thing is, he was a good artist before he started nerfing it.
Nerf. Okay. So you
So he
basically-
developed. He actually is a good artist.
Your
and then he
requirement-
started like going loopy with it.
Sure. But what did you think of his loopiness?
It was good because I know a little because he already established himself as a good artist.
Okay.
You know
so
what I mean?
you require that someone should display they have a baseline level of skill before
He
they-
understands it before he. Yeah.
Wasn't
Right.
Jackson Pollock
That's
like that
actually
though? I
fair.
thought.
No.
Didn't he? I thought Jackson Pollock started off as a more traditional artist, and then just
I don't remember
Started
seeing any of.
flicking
Maybe his later work overshadowed all his early
If-
stuff. I don't know
I don't know.
anything.
If we can find Jackson Pollock
As a badass.
formed
yeah,
like
yeah.
with like refined or whatever, is that going to change your opinion about him?
He was just a piece of shit. Like, there's a documentary I remember seeing about him, and he was like drink driving with other people in the car.
That's what people did.
Ooh.
What do you think
Yeah.
about Thomas Kincaid?
I don't know.
He's
This
the
name.
he's the guy who paints like really idyllic scenes of like cottages by a river and
That stuff's cool.
okay.
What do you think of Bob Ross?
Yeah, he's a living legend.
No,
still
he's
living?
definitely not a living legend.
He's dead.
He's a dead
Yeah.
legend.
Oh my goodness.
He died decades
Right.
ago.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Was it? Oh man.
My goodness. I didn't even know about that. I thought he was still living. I thought he was still kicking it. I saw him on a live stream.
Wait.
I saw him on Twitch.
You just saw a guy with an afro and said, "That's Bob Ross. What's he doing playing video games?"
His legend lives on.
Yep.
Bob Ross.
Yep.
All right, so we
He's alive in our hearts and
Mhm.
minds.
Yeah.
got a tour of the premises. I thought it's pretty cool that they've got that little garden.
Mm.
Got a couple beehives. I couldn't hear any bees in them. but
They're asleep. It was at night.
It was like 11:30
Yeah.
or something
Past
when
their
we had this
bedtime.
tour. We were the
It was
last
so
people there.
freaking late.
Hmm.
I couldn't believe it.
Do bees sleep?
Yeah.
Like, do
What do you mean?
I think they were sleeping because there was no activity around there.
Everything sleeps.
ants don't sleep?
Seriously?
Seriously?
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
Google it. Not now, but
I know.
like later.
I think sharks half their brains sleep
Oh, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
At a time.
because
That's
they
pretty
can't. They have to keep swimming.
Mm.
So it's
Wow.
like one half of them sleeps and the other half isn't basically running on some sort of
I
autopilot.
heard that people only use 10% of their brain, bro.
Oh man, did you see that movie? If you unlock 100%, you turn into a USB stick or something.
Is that what's up?
Yeah.
What? All right. Let's move on to the dessert. Last dish of the evening. According to the menu, lemon curd, rhubarb, strawberries, passion fruit. And what did they bring out? They brought out it was a large bowl. This was, I think, was the most strangely proportioned bowl to food of the evening for me. And it was there's like a disc of red sauce, and on top of that was like a cream, and on top of that were some pieces of fruit, and on top of that were a couple scoops of passion fruit sorbet, and then sort of encasing it loosely were some very thin, crisp pieces of meringue. What did you guys think?
Yum.
It was yum. I agree.
I love rhubarb and lemon.
I love rhubarb and lemon.
Oh my god. Basically
Yeah.
twins.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was cool.
Stop hitting on my wife.
Hey, I'm just interested.
You made it sound like only one of us can like rhubarb.
Highlander situation.
I remember saying the same thing like that night. I was like, yeah, I'm really into rhubarb.
So what did you think?
It's good. It was good, yeah. It's what I expected.
That's actually, I think that's a big get for dessert everywhere.
Rhubarb?
For you to say that it was good. Say that a
No.
dessert was good. I think that's a big get for dessert.
Mm-hmm. Me being a savory fan.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
savory
not
food
just a
fan.
savory fan, but like I think you're to some degree even against sweet. You're like
Yeah,
you're
kinda.
anti-sweet.
In a way.
Blake, what did you think?
I really like that sorbet.
Mm,
I really liked it.
the sorbet specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I was gonna say the sorbet was it was good, but it was probably my least favorite part.
Maybe
of
the thing
dessert.
is, I almost never have sorbet. So maybe maybe it could have just been standard sorbet, and I'd be like, this is incredible.
I mean, it was good sorbet, but my favorite element was the cream, the white, whatever that was. It was so creamy. It was
Yeah.
just, it was just
I thought
delicious.
it was lemon, the cream.
Maybe.
I thought the sorbet was good, but it was overpowering when compared to the rhubarb and lemon, and I would personally rather eat rhubarb and lemon than passion fruit.
Mm.
So I just ate the sorbet first
Mm.
and then enjoyed the rest of the dish.
Oh, wow. I did the same thing as well, but I ate it first because it was just so delicious. And,
I thought the meringue was fine as well. It was good meringue.
yeah,
You
meringue was
love
fine.
meringue.
I do love
You're
meringue.
crazy
this,
about meringue.
This wasn't like a mind-blowing meringue. I've had some amazing meringue in my time, but it was crunchy and meringue. Yum. But yeah, for me, the surprise winner was the cream, the lemony cream. Ooh, yum. But I still also enjoyed all the fruit pieces, which I think were like simmered in something, and they were
they're
simultaneously tender but crisp.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
Yeah,
How do you make a fruit both tender and crisp?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Email us, frontseatquestions@gmail.com. How do you make a fruit both tender and crisp? This is not a riddle. I want to know.
I mean, you can have like tender crisp chicken burgers.
Yep.
So I mean, it's possible.
Just the same thing. Just
People can
let
make
them.
things tender and crisp.
Yep. Sure. Who does the tender crisp?
I think it's BK, Burger King.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So that ended the meal.
So stuffed by this point. It was ridiculous.
I was all right.
No.
Well, you
could've-
hadn't eaten all day. That was
This
like
is true.
the thing.
I
Yeah.
had starved. I had prepped for this meal by
Dancing.
eating
Yeah.
by dancing, by eating nothing but drinking a ton of water, and I had a chia drink in the middle of the day just to keep my energy levels up a little
Keep
bit.
those electrolytes.
Yep.
Yep.
Everyone knows that chia is full of electrolytes.
Yep. What Nick craves.
Maybe. It is. So overall, how would you rate the experience? Give me a score out of 10, guys.
You do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
start
would
the ball
give it.
rolling.
Okay. Here's my disclaimer before I give the score. Kerri and I have done fine dining a few times. We've been to a place called Siddart. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before. We've been there a couple times and we loved it. The first time we went there totally blew my mind. That was a 10 out of 10 experience for me. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Second time I went there, I really enjoyed it, but didn't really surprise me in the same way. And I would have given that like maybe an 8.5.
Yeah.
When we went to the French cafe, we were really excited because it wasn't Siddart and we were like, we wanted to have a new fine dining experience. But 2 days before we arrived, the new head chef had come in, and it was Sid from Sid Art.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was Sid at the French Cafe. And so
I was really disappointed by that,
we
actually.
were both kind of really bummed.
I mean, it was delicious,
delicious
but
meal.
we could have just gone to Sid Art.
Yeah, it was recognizably Sid Art in certain ways. That
Which
Like
which
the Parmesan
dishes?
ice cream.
the Parmesan ice
Oh,
cream,
okay.
Very Sid Art.
the scampi, like the deep fried scampi.
I think we had a very similar. I think we had scampi the same way, but with different sides at
Yeah.
Sid Art last time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So there were a few different.
Now, these are 2 dishes that you guys just raved about.
Yeah, and they were great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved them.
They weren't like what I was hoping for was a new food experience. I guess something where like I wanted to see another chef's creative take on their cuisine. But I got Sid's creative take on cuisine, which is great. I love it. It's
2 days
delicious.
late. It's just so sad.
Yeah.
So close.
So I would give that evening a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoyed the food.
It was fun going with a group as well. We've only done it with just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
It's real boring. It's like 4 hours.
Yeah, actually, how
Jesus.
Wow. She married me, guys. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
How did you rate it?
Okay, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Oh man.
It's not
What would you give
not bad.
Logan?
Logan Brown?
Yeah.
That was my 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And but there were a lot of other things that went into Logan Brown that made it super special.
Right.
The
That's
thing-
often the case, I find.
Yeah, things
it
that I
can't
went.
just be the food.
Yeah. The things that I liked about French Cafe was just hanging out with you guys. It was cool just kicking it. The food was okay. but like just hanging out I think was cool.
Food 5 out of 10, company 10 out of 10.
I for me that's kind of the breakdown. Like the environment's like under expectations
Sure.
actually. It was
Yeah.
so garbage. The wait staff really cool.
Yeah.
Seeing into the kitchen cool also. Like how just everyone was a real professional. Like when you looked in and saw the people, that was cool.
Yeah, I was surprised no one was yelling at anyone in the kitchen. Because
That
like
was a surprise.
cook
yeah.
shows have led me to believe that everyone's screaming at everyone at all times at full volume.
It was silent in there.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was
Little weird.
shocking, honestly. And every dish came out perfect, except I'm gonna admit something. I found a hair in my first dish
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
In the freaking
in the fish.
the mac and cheese.
You sure it wasn't? Yeah.
It was in the first course. I found a hair in my.
No.
Was it your hair?
It wasn't
Yeah,
my
you sure it
hair.
wasn't one of
It
yours?
was too long.
Oh no.
Oh
man.
But you know what? I didn't want to ruin the experience for you guys, and I didn't want to like.
That's
tell
a
them.
bummer.
Did that kind of dull your enthusiasm?
A little bit, but also the flavor, not of the hair, but of the food that
Yeah.
it came
How
in.
edible.
How
It's
would you
just
describe
so
the flavor
good.
of the hair though?
Stringy. Had a stringy flavor.
Yeah.
Blake, how would you rate it?
I'd say 9 out of 10 because I didn't know what to expect, but I only will rate it like not 10 out of 10 because some dishes didn't blow my mind like others did.
The venison. You're thinking of
Yeah,
venison.
yeah. The venison and like too pickly and too many like pickles. Overall, too many pickles.
Ah, I love
A few less pickles and it might have been a 10 out of 10.
More pickles, guys. Keep bringing out them
Yeah.
pickles. Kerri.
I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I think it would probably be an 8.5 and match like our second Sid Art experience. Except it was really nice hanging out with a bunch of people and.
Good company. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame Eleanor couldn't be on too.
We miss you, Eleanor. All right. So we don't have a huge amount of time left. In fact, we're probably already over time. However, I do want to bring up one other food place we've been eating at recently, which is because this is the food episode.
Oh, this is another 8 out of 10. I think I know what you're talking about.
This is only an 8 out of 10 for you, huh?
For me, yeah,
Yeah,
it's an 8 out of 10.
It's a place called King Shaka's. It is a burger place that's near where we work. It is cheap as hell. And the dudes who work there are the chillest dudes I've ever met. There's the one guy who's just always got sunglasses on. I've never seen him not have sunglasses on. And keep in mind that he works indoors.
I assume he is King Shaka. Like,
Where's
I
his
thought
crown?
he
I
was.
haven't-
I just thought that he was the guy.
That explains why he wanted me to kiss the ring every time I came.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Gross.
it was a burger ring, though. It
Oh,
was
okay. Is that what he called it?
it's this burger place. They've got like a South African twist on their food, which I think is really
they're
cool.
two big South African dudes.
Yeah.
And on every Saturday they have South African specials as well.
Oh wow.
We had their lamb curry.
Yeah,
It's
called a
really
bunny.
Good. It was in like
What?
just a loaf of bread that they'd hollowed out and filled with curry.
Whoa. Yeah.
So think of a bread bowl, basically, but
Mm.
it's just a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Giant.
The
Whoa.
curry was delicious. The bread was not
It
great.
was just white bread.
So it was soggy ass bread.
Yeah, pretty much.
By the end.
If they all
Soaked in just it's a mess.
kind of. I had been wishing that they would like get a nice sourdough, basically, and make
Yep.
a bread bowl out of that.
Where do you get your sourdough?
That is a callback. We were talking about when we went to Siddhart and they asked us where we got sourdough. Where we got our sourdough from. We didn't have an answer. Yeah, King Shaka's really, really good fried chicken and burgers and samosas. Actually, all of the food there is really good. So, I mentioned earlier the price to quality ratio is the thing I keep in mind when I'm eating in a place. If food is great but really expensive, like sure, like I might go there and try it, but I'm not gonna return. If the food is pretty solid but really cheap, I'll probably come back.
Eat there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And King Shaka's is great and really cheap. So I went there like 6 times last week.
Yep. Have you tried everything on the menu?
Um,
Or every burger on the menu?
No, I haven't.
What's your go-to now then? You
I did the double trouble, which is just like their cheeseburger with 2 patties and 2 pieces of cheese, or just their cheeseburger.
okay?
Like their cheeseburger, their patties are thick, they're flavorful. They've got onion in them. They season them really well. They're cooked well. They hold together. They use like fresh buns that don't fall apart. The cheese they use is like good American cheese.
On every burger on the bottom bun, they have like this delicious caramelized onion
Oh, yeah.
sauce sort of thing, and they just so carefully spread an even layer covering every bit of the top of the bun.
Yeah.
Like, they put their sauces on with such care. I love it.
Yeah.
Every bite has sauce.
They care about the flavor. That's the really overarching thing here is they really make sure that their food tastes good for every bite. And you can tell because
It does.
because it does. So big ups to King Shaka's. If you're in Henderson or that region, go eat at that place.
It's a little bit hidden away too, right?
It is.
Yeah. It's not on any main part, and it's sort of down in a dark part of a car park
Yeah.
Next to a laundromat.
next to a laundromat.
Yeah, you would not look at that place and go, ooh,
Yeah.
delicious. You'd go, I'm going to get stabbed if I go there too late.
Yeah.
But dang, they make a good, cheap burger.
And good chicken.
Oh my God, their fried chicken.
They like
I haven't had their fried
marinate it in
chicken.
something. Did you?
No,
see that?
I haven't had their fried chicken.
They like soak it in something delicious first, and then bread it, and then fry it.
They marinate it
So
in
good.
something.
Yeah, marinate
so
is the
tasty.
word.
And they fry everything there to perfection. Like it's not oily. And that is, I've never had something
a
that's
feat.
oily from that place. Their samosas are unbelievable. Oh.
Oh, you were also going on about their spring rolls.
Ooh,
Yeah,
they're really good.
They kept talking about this. They had the spring rolls on the menu, chicken and prawn. And when we were in Cambodia, we went out of our way to try spring rolls pretty much everywhere we went. So when we saw that King Shaka's had spring rolls, we tried to order them. and we tried to order them every time we went in there for 2 weeks,
Oh man.
and they didn't have them. And finally, they made them, and we tried them, and they're good, really good. So, but I would honestly, if you're just trying them for the first time, get their cheeseburger, get some fried chicken, get a samosa.
But that's
Stuff.
probably too much food, honestly.
No, it's not.
I think I had that my first meal.
Yeah. And what did you think, Soren?
Yeah, the Nick
It was good.
special.
Nick was like, "You should try that and a cheeseburger," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get that and some samosas on the side." Yeah, it was good. I had to gap that first time, so I kind of ruined
Yeah.
the whole thing.
I was so bummed because like you hadn't even taken a bite of the burger yet.
Yeah, and I was
You-
like, "Oh shit, I've got to get out of here."
Yeah, and so he just put
Failed.
this burger down and then left for an hour, and I was like,
Whoa.
"What is he doing?
Yeah.
The madman!"
I'm a crime fighter.
Wait, did you leave the burger on the table in front of Nick?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Was it still there when you got back?
That was a gamble, I tell you what.
Yeah, there was a couple bite marks. It
Yeah.
was weird.
He'd eaten it and then just ordered another one to
I was
replace
just
it.
teething it. I was making sure it was edible. What's the problem?
My jam is the double bacon cheeseburger thing,
Okay,
which is fantastic.
it is good,
It's
but
essentially 2 burgers.
Yeah.
yeah, it really is. Anyway, that's the end of this. Our first, possibly only, food episode of Lunch Eat Flavor.
Can I put a suggestion?
Yeah,
Uh,
change the name.
no. Well, maybe you could think of something, but have you guys been to the Langham?
Oh, no, I
Have you
haven't.
heard about this place?
Yeah.
Are you guys keen on checking that out?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be real keen.
Where is that?
What is it?
It's the hotel just up by Grafton, the Grafton Bridge,
Yeah.
Okay.
and they have an all-you-can-eat buffet, but it's like 4 stars or something.
Ooh.
Is that 80? Is that 88? No.
What do you mean?
What's its name? I might have heard of it.
It is a number, I
Cut
think.
this out. Like,
Yeah, but anyway, it's in the Langham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keen.
I know
Yes.
that I've had friends that had high tea at the Langham.
Oh, yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yep, it's pretty.
With
Fancy.
like, yeah.
So
with
you
like-
reckon we should hit that up?
I think I'm gonna put that. That's my vote.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
the next session. Yeah.
Totally. Okay. Well, if you're listening to this and you're like, this was great, I want to hear more of it, you should definitely email us, frontseatquestions@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Let us know because
Because we really don't know if anybody cares about it. We've had some people, well, we have had people over like the years be like, yes, a food podcast would sound great. But we don't know if that's just a couple of people saying that. Or if
Yeah.
anybody actually really cares.
and often it's usually one of us saying that.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's usually Nick.
Yeah.
It is usually me. And that's just because I want to eat.
Mm.
I love eating. You can also tweet at us at FrontSeatCast. Tweet, yo, do another one, and we'll know what that means, or don't, whatever. Facebook.com/FrontSeatCast is our Facebook page. We read and reply to messages all the time. We've also got a WordPress site, frontseatgamer.wordpress.com, a YouTube page, youtube.com/FrontSeatCast. Sometimes Severn streams on Twitch,
Mm-hmm.
twitch.tv/FrontSeatCast.
After this podcast, are you going to do a eat with me type of Twitch channel? Like
What is that?
that's where you eat in front of a webcam.
Shit.
What?
What?
Have you not heard of this?
No.
Oh, this is the thing. If you like search in YouTube like eat with me, you see all these like Asian girls eating like food in front of their webcam.
That's hot.
Not even sexily, not even like dodgy or anything. Just regular people eating in front of their webcam.
Why?
I don't know, but
But they
it's
do it.
popular.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've heard it's I don't know how
You've heard?
I've heard. A friend told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how
His
true.
name is Steve Burger. Dang it.
I don't know how true this is, but apparently in like some like in Japan, if it's like a lot of lonely people living by themselves, and they feel like they have company when they're eating by watching other people eat.
It's a
in front
sad
of them.
state,
That's
man.
really sad.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's actually true or not. That's just what I've been told. It could just be not real.
Mm.
But these channels do exist, so are you gonna make one?
No. What?
So look forward to seeing Severn on Eat With Me on Twitch.
Yep.
You can rate us on iTunes. We really appreciate all the people who have rated us on iTunes. And you should tell your friends about us because, makes you sound cool, I guess. And we'll be back maybe next week, maybe in a couple weeks. I'm not sure when. With the normal episode of Front Seat Gamer, where we'll talk about Delve, and we might have a special guest.
Yes, we might.
We might. Blake looked so serious just then.
Really.
I'd forgotten.
It looked a little bit like he was threatening me. Hey, you
Stone
might have a
cold.
special guest, but you might not have a host. We'll be back then. Bye. Oh, wait. Before I go, thank you for coming on, Kerri. I love you.
Love you too.
You never
I
say
love
that
you.
to us. We're
I
on
love
this
you guys
podcast
too.
all the time.
Blake, love you. Severn, love you. Kerri, I love you. Okay, bye.
We did it.
Yep. Yep.
That's great.
We gushed down to.
That was weird.
Why?
I don't know. Talking. This thing right here.
Yeah. This is what it's like. This is what podcast life, yo.